Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today video I'm going to be showing you how to make this oha soup, fresh oha soup using bhangarh soup. Yes, I use fresh bhangarh for this oha soup. I love using fresh bhangarh because it helps to thicken the soup very fast, and I love the taste as well. Yeah, so if you want to see how I make this soup, keep watching. Oha is one of my favorite soup of all time. So guys, let's get to the ingredients. So the first ingredient I'm going to be using is fresh oha. So this is how I break my oha. I use my finger to break it into 2 or into 4 or into 5, depends on how much I want to break it. So yeah, other ingredients I'm going to be using 1 nut cube, salt, some dry pepper. I'm not going to be using fresh pepper, but you can use fresh pepper. And this is the fresh bhangarh soup that I made by myself from fresh bhangarh fruits. So here is some thickener that I made. The thickener, and the other side is the spice that I'm going to be using. Here is crayfish, palm oil. I'm going to be adding a little bit of palm oil, and that is smoked catfish that is soaked in the hot water and salt. So yeah, and I'm also going to be using some stockfish and some beef. You can use any meat of your choice. So I've already cleaned and parboiled the stockfish and the meat. So while the stockfish and meat are still cooking, I'm going to go ahead to add the bhangarh soup that I made earlier into this meat. The meat, I cooked them halfway. They are not well cooked, so because they're going to be cooking more now. So I'm just going to filter the bhangarh soup into the meat. Now I'm done. I'm just going to stir all together. As you can see, the water, the liquid is not enough, so I'm going to be adding more water into it. It depends on the consistency you want them to be, and depends on the how many quantity of thickener you have. And here I'm adding a little bit of red oil into this soup. After doing that, I'm going to stir them all up together. Then I'm going to put the lid on and allow them to cook. Yes, so I'm going to allow them to cook until they start boiling. So while this cooking, I'm going to go ahead to clean the fish out of the water now. So back to the soup. As you can see, the soup is boiling very well now. So after stirring them, I'm going to start adding the spice that I'm using. Here I'm adding dry pepper. Like I said, you can use fresh pepper for this soup. Okay, so after adding the pepper, I'm going to stir them, and I'm going to throw in the nut cube, and I'm also going I'm basically going to add everything I'm going to be using for this soup inside now. Salt, crayfish, name them. Just add all your spices that you want to use for the soup now, so that everything will start cooking together. And for the meat, you can use bomo, which is known as cow skin. So after adding them, as you can see, the soup is already cooked and palm oil is almost well cooked. So I'm going to add the thickener. Here I'm using yam. Normally I use cocoyam back home, but I couldn't find cocoyam, so I'm using fresh yam that I cooked and blend. I use blender to blend them to this consistency. So I'm just going to add the amount that I think is good for the soup. I'm testing the salt to see if the salt is enough. So the salt is enough, and I'm going to cover them again to boil back. So here I took the lid off, and I'm stirring, giving them a good stir again, because I need that thickener to melt, like to do its job, you know, before I can add the oha, which is the last thing that we're going to be using here. So I'm going to allow it again to cook for more 3 minutes, or just allow it to cook until you know that the thickener is well melted. And here is the ogiri that I'm using. Yeah, I got the ogiri from Nigeria, so I'm using one of the ogiri. It smells weird, but it's so amazing. When you use it for soup, you will love the taste of your soup. So I added the ogiri now, stir them all. Then I'm going to add the fish now, the shredded catfish, into the soup, and I'm going to go ahead as well to stir everything up. So after stirring them, I'm just going to allow them to do their thing for 2 minutes again. Then I'm going to add the oha, which is the last thing we're going to be adding into this soup. I love to add isam inside, but I don't really have enough isam to add here. I have isam, but I have a plan for, I have another soup for the isam. So here, like I said, after 2 minutes, I'm adding the oha inside the soup. Like what I normally do, I learn to cook oha soup. When I add the oha, I don't stir the oha for 2 minutes. I just leave them to boil. Like my mother always said that when you turn the oha, you will, I don't know how she put it, but it's kind of something that I'm used to. I don't turn oha as soon as I put them into, and then I don't cover them as well. So I'm just going to allow it to cook for 1 to 2 minutes on a heat like that. Then I'm going to stir them all up together. Yes, so now I'm stirring them all together, and after stirring them, I'm not going to put the lid on. This soup is cooked, because you don't need to cook the oha too much. As long as you leave the oha is going to be cooked by itself by the heat of the sauce. So I throw in some makara fish, or whatever this is called, a fresh one into there. You can choose to use fresh fish, or you can choose not to use it as well. So guys, the soup is cooked, and this tastes amazing with a lot of things going inside the soup. I hope you enjoy staying with me today. This soup, you can enjoy it with your pounded yam, with your semo, with your plantain, fufu, with normal fufu, with anything you choose. Sometimes I just put it and warm it up and start eating it like that. So this soup is so delicious. Like I said, one of my favorite soup of all time. So I hope you give it a try. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so. Thank you, and I will see you on my next video. God bless you all. Bye.